Happy Thursday, Stampers and Paper Crafters. This is Facebook Live number 497. It is Thursday, June 25th, 2026. My name is Joy Borwedge, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Burnsville, Minnesota, and I have been a demonstrator for 27 years coming up in August, so quite a long time. And I'm excited. I am going to put you down at the table in just a second. If you get motion sickness or anything like that, just look away, and I'll let you know when I am done messing around with the camera. Hold on. So hopefully you guys had a great week so far. All right, there we go. I have been working on the Stampin' event coming up, and I'll share that with you in just a moment. And okay, so we're tightening this up. Okay, and let's see here. We're going to squish that in a little bit. How about a little more? Whoa, I think we're good with that, right? Maybe a little bit more. That works really well. Okay, I think we're done moving the camera. Okay, it's good to look. I think we're at a good spot. All right, so again, my name is Joy Borwedge. I have an Instagram page at Stampin' for Joy. Then my YouTube page is Joy A. Borwedge. My online store is stampinforjoy.stampinup.net. That is open 24/7. And then penguinz33 at outlook.com is my email address, so that if you do not have a demonstrator and you would like to receive a catalog that you don't have one, I can send one to you. I also have a Facebook page at Stampin' for Joy. So how this works is I record this video on my Joy Borwedge Facebook page. I'm live right now, and then I will download it to my YouTube page as well as my Stampin' for Joy page. And then I also will hashtag it with number 497. So if you were on Pinterest and you saw something really cute and it was hashtagged, then within 30 days of that date that it was posted, generally, you can go to my Facebook page and watch it. If not, it's also on my YouTube page. So that's how this works. Then, like I said, if you do not have a demonstrator, I would be happy to send you a catalog. And this catalog runs from May through the end of August. And then in August, I'm sure us demonstrators will get to see the new catalog that will be coming out in September, and that will run through the end of December. And that will be featuring a lot of the holidays that happen to come there as well. Another place that you can purchase online is called the Online Exclusives. And what that means is that this product will not see a publication. Hi, Tina, welcome. And so we have products that you could see in a catalog. And then we also have products that Stampin' Up! Introduces every other month. And then that way, Stampin' Up! Can keep it, you know, with new products coming out every so often. So then that way, it's not the same old, same old. So we carry a lot of the, what do you call it? The core products in the catalog. And then we also have some really beautiful stamp sets. And then the added online exclusives. Now, the online exclusives are while supplies last. And they happen to either A, run out and then they're not available anymore, or B, Stampin' Up! Is going to keep them until they don't want to stock it anymore. And then they'll put them on the what is called the last chance list. Now that last chance list gets updated, let's see, every other month. So when new products come out, the following month will be the last chance products updated list. So we have products on here that will not be restocked. And now if there is something that is coming, Stampin' Up! Will put unavailable in red, and then that means that stuff was ordered before it went to the last chance list, and then that way they will, be there for until that product runs out. And sometimes Stampin' Up! Says, you know what, we're done with this. We need more space for the new products that are coming in, so we're going to take this off the list. So then those things, once they're not saleable anymore, then they go to the what's called the discontinued list, and that you can't get anymore. So that is something that you got to take a chance, because you know what? There's discounts on those. And then here's a little sneak peek. We have the July online exclusives coming out July 1st. And this happens to be a suite collection that will be coming out in the July, as I say June, the July online exclusives. And as you can tell, it's really cute. And so now this, if you like quilting, or if you know someone who likes quilting, this would be a suite for you. Okay, guys, now that's it. Just to let you know, the product of the month is no longer available. It has been retired. And so we'll have to wait until July 1st to see the new product of the month coming out for July. Now, there might be other products that are available from previous months, but if you've already received those products, you're only able to get one of each product of the month. So, sorry about that. Say goodbye to the cute little penguin down there. Bye-bye. All right. And, okay. So, I want to talk about what's coming up. The StampinEvent.com is coming up Saturday, July 18th. That will be in, happy Thursday to you, Tina. That will be in St. Luke's, July 18th, which is a Saturday. That's an in-person event. You will be making 16 handmade cards, and it's quite a bit of fun. You can go to theStampinEvent.com and register. Now, that's in less than a month. So hopefully you have saved the date, and you will come and join us for a Saturday filled with fun. And then also, if you like to buy product on the cheap, we have retired products that are available, and there's going to be 4 demonstrators there. And so you'll have 4 demonstrators worth of retired products to choose from. So, and those are discounted as well. Then we also have the virtual Stampin' Event .com. You can register for that. That is for anybody who is in the 48 states, the continuous United States. And so then that way we can mail you the package. Now this is a week so later. So we need you to register, so then that way Heidi and I know how many to cut from. So go to both of these places, register. I know you'll have some fun. All right. Oh, yeah. And at that virtual events, you'll be making 8 cards from both Heidi and I. So I'll demonstrate 4, and Heidi will demonstrate 4. And so I can't wait to see what we're going to be doing. Okay. So guess what? My paper pumpkin came yesterday. So I'm excited. So all I did was open up, saw the spot, took it out, and saw that it was Calypso Coral. Now, I will not be using the spot just because I have this ink pad open already, and so we're going to play with that. So we're going to open it up. Ooh, I see a bicycle, some flowers, a butterfly, and some more flowers. Okay, so we're just going to put that right there so I don't lose it, and then we're going to open this up. Now, Paper Pumpkin is a paid subscription. It comes to your door. your mailbox, I should say. And sometimes, we demonstrators get a chance to see a little snippet of what's to come. Now, we don't get to see the whole thing. And also, there is a product that you can purchase quarterly, and it will coordinate with all 3 paper pumpkins. Now, there are several things that I think that you should have when you have a paper pumpkin, and that is, number 1, a take your pick tool. It always helps when you have a take your pick tool. A bone folder. You need to have one of those for those nice crisp fold lines. And then a pair of scissors, just because. And then, let's see, the blocks. I have 1 block of everything sitting in front of me right now. Some of them are retired, like this one and this one, but I'm still using them just because they fit certain things. And then this one as well, and this one as well. So your first paper pumpkin will come with the block, I think. I know that Stampin' Up! Said that they were going to change things around, and I can't remember if that was one of them or not. So I went and got my scissors, and now I put them away. So one of the things you need the scissors for is to open up your plastic. And it comes shrunk wrapped in 1 piece. And I have to say, out of all the years I've been doing paper pumpkin, I've only had 1 time where they forgot 1 thing. Otherwise, they're really good at that. Okay, so let's go through what we have here. And okay, so it looks like we have linen thread. So I'm actually going to, it's always fun. I totally agree with you, Tina. I am going to take this out of that plastic bag just so that it's loose for me to play with. I'm going to save that plastic bag because sometimes when we have the Stampin' events, I like to use them. Now, in this plastic bag comes our adhesives. Now, sometimes you don't have fingernails and you can't open the plastic bag. So these are called mini dimensionals, and so that I'm going to use my own, seeing as how I already own some, and they're open. And these are mini glue dots, and so I will actually not use those either because I have my own mini glue dots which have already been opened, and I don't like to open another thing until the other thing is used up. Ooh, okay. Stampin' Up! Always changes the envelopes, so it looks like this time they are different colors. Sometimes they're the same. Sometimes just the flap is designed. Sometimes it's the inside that's designed. And so it looks like we have 3 different colors for our cards. Now, I would have to say that the majority of paper pumpkins, ooh, cute bike. The majority of paper pumpkins are actually cards, and then some of them are 3D projects. All right, so that is adorable, and that is not a die, so it looks like we're going to be doing something with the whole thing. All right, here is a card base, so that I would have to say would be clips of coral. And here are some die cuts. That reminds me of a cow or a fluffy cat. Okay, and there are 3 of these, and they're all die cuts, easy to punch out. Then it looks like here is another card, and I think I'm going to do all the projects. Sometimes I just do 1 project of each, and then, oh, look at that. That is, let's see, these are all die cuts, laser die cuts. And so it looks like there's 2 sheets of those. And sometimes I do all of it. And so this time I'm going to do all of them. So we're just going to have fun with that. And then, ooh, look at that. There is more die cuts. And, okay, so this is the same page, just flip upside down. And so apparently we need 3 bicycles, so they had to have a way to do just 3. Okay, so we're going to put that over there. And then you get this chipboard, which I always save because I can find a way to use that in something, in some crafting project. And then here's the instructions. Ooh. And it looks like we are going to have butterflies that have adhesive on them. And they are, I want to say, iridescent, because the back side happens to have the adhesive on them, and they kind of look like they're silver. So I guess these are adhesive backed, shiny, almost iridescent butterflies. So I'm going to put that with my stamp set so I don't lose those either. Okay, and another thing that I think that you need when you have a paper pumpkin is a craft mat. And so this is the Stampin' the Pearson mat, piercing mat from the Stampin' Up! Catalog. And so I just put a piece of paper around it, put some tape on it, and then that way I don't color it way too much, hopefully. And that is always going to give your stamped images a better look. So here are the cards that we're going to be making, and it's called Bikes and Blooms, and apparently it's in English, which is good to know. And then I believe that might be German, but I'm not sure, and maybe French, Junie, don't know. There are different languages for the paper pumpkin, because paper pumpkin is now worldwide. And so this is the instructions and what it includes. So this is what the stamp set looks like, and what you do is you lay it on, and it just, this is going, I'm going to cut this off, and eventually I'm going to sell this, you know, once it retires, and then I will put that with it so they can see what images look like. Have a lovely day. Thank you, and best wishes. Very fun. And then it says the kit components. It says contains supplies for 9 cards and 9 envelopes. And the colors that coordinate with this are basic black, Calypso Coral, crushed curry, Lost Lagoon, Old Olive, pecan pie, and silver. Then there is instructions for 1, number 2, and number 3. So then what we do is we go along with this page right here, and we pull out all the products and we sort them. So that is what we're going to do. I am going to take a drink. All right. So the green, that happens to be card number 1. The coral is number 2. And the crushed curry is number 3. So this happens to go with number 3. And okay, so the big bike and okay, so let's look at the things, all right? So, I'm going to look at this piece right now, and that looks like it's number 3. And I'm going to do all of them at the same time. And then the side piece that looks like that happens to be with number 3 as well. So we're going to put that there. And then these polka dots, they go with card number 1. And the green one, they go with number 3. And so that leaves this big bike. And that gets pushed out. I mean, you saw how easy that was. This goes with number 2. So we're going to take all of this and we're going to put that in the recycling bin. One die cut set down. Woohoo! This way it's very easy to put things together. Okay, so we have the dies, the die cuts that are angled. They go with number 3. And so that's both sets, I assume. And they gave us 1 extra, so if we make a boo-boo stamping, this one goes with number 1. So there's only 2 sheets, but it's located in 2 spots, so that's 4 of them. This big bushy green thing goes with bike number 2. And like I said, we're doing both of them at the same time, so then that way it's just done quicker. Okay, so this is a circle. It's a half circle. I think it might be this, so we'll put that with, well, it's kind of half circle. It's like somebody just lopped off the top. So that looks like it goes with number 1. And then we could throw that in the recycling bin. And last but not least, this piece. Okay, so the ones with the dots on them, they go with number 2. And that's right here. So I'm going to move that over. The bike itself goes with number 1. And I think these might be flower parts. We're going to be stamping on these. So this goes to number 2. Maybe. I don't know. I think maybe that actually goes to number 3. So, oops, I made a, just want to be right. All right, so the goes with number 3. So we got 4 of those. And the big bike one, number 2, that one fell in the wrong spot. It was just anxious to get in its place. Okay, so I think I got it all. Now we're going to look at the stamps. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this kind of this flabby pink or thin plastic. Don't throw this away. Keep it. And I'm going to put that where my envelopes are so I know where it's at. And so we're going to do Have a Lovely Day. So that looks like, and I'm going to grab another thing that I think you need when you do a paper pumpkin is the silicone craft sheet. And so I'm going to take that, let's see, can you see that? It's down in the corner right there. We're going to take that stamped image and we're going to lie it down and we're going to grab the block and just put it right on top. So that is going to go with number 1. And let's see here. These flowers go in that. And I think I'm going to grab that same block. I have multiple blocks of the same thing. So when I do stamp camps, when I do events, okay, that's going to get butterflies and mini glue dots and dimensionals. All right, so number 2, that is going to say Best Wishes. That's right there. So that's, again, I'm just going to lay that down and see which one. Ooh, that one fits perfectly. So we're going to put that with number 2. And it needs the big flower. Okay, so let's see, this one looks like it'll fit just fine. So that will go with number 2. And then the third one, it's going to need the butterflies. Now the butterflies are actually separate. These two are together, and then there's another butterfly. So this one, it's going to go like that. I'm going to grab another of that same size and go with the little guy right there. Okay, and that one's going to say thank you. Okay, so then let's see here. Does that work? Yes, it does. We're going to do thank you on that. Now, this bike is the only one we have yet to use. And I'm thinking that this bike might be perfect for an inside card. And so now we have nothing on our... This is a thicker piece of plastic. So I'm going to put that again with the small plastic, or the flimsy one. And then let's see if this fits on there. And my goodness, it does. Okay, so the bike fits on that one. So we're going to have to decide what color we're going to be putting that bike in on the inside of the card. All right, this one we're not going to use, so I'm going to put away. All right, I'm going to need that, I'm sure. Okay, so let's put card number 3 away and card number 2 away, and we will go according to instructions. Now, instructions are done by picture, so that is a great way. And I'm going to put my linen thread with my butterflies so I know where they're at. Okay, so the first thing it says to do is to fold it. So we're going to just put our stuff, and I'm going to put them in little groups, oops, over here. So then that way my stamping surface is clear and I won't drop an ink pad on anything. Okay, so this, apparently the dark green line is for the bottom of your card, and it's not at the top. And now you can certainly follow the instructions as written, which is generally what I like to do. And you can also go rogue. And what that means is put them together as you see fit without having to follow instructions. For me, I like it sometimes when somebody tells me what to do with stamping, and that I don't have to figure out how to put something together. I just have to follow the instructions. And that is fun. And that's why I like to share the paper pumpkins with you, because then you get to see them put together, and they're a great thing that you can get like a bunch together, you know, a bunch of girls, each have a paper pumpkin, and get away from the kids or the husbands or the significant others. And then just have some girl time, you know, some fun. All right, that one did not go very well, so we're just going to re-burnish that and give a better... There. Now you don't see that. Okay, so now that it says to fold that in half, okay, we're supposed to ink up the have a lovely day, and then we're going to add the flowers. Okay, the coral flowers, or yeah, the Calypso Coral. And we're going to stamp that in Calypso Coral. And the lovely day. Now, you can see the end result is where the circle they're lining up that circle right up to the edge. So then you know how to stamp that. Okay. Then let's get out our Stampin' Pearson mat. And we're going to lay out the flower baskets. And then we're just going to, first of all, this is a new stamp and I haven't used it on anything. So I'm just going to actually, whoops, wrong chamois. That chamois I clean my Glass Mat Studio with. And this is my Simply chamois. Now my Simply chamois, I have that cut in 4s. It actually fits this whole thing. But I don't need this big whole thing. Sometimes I like to put it in my hands and then it's too big for me. Okay, so I cleaned that off, kind of wiped off that residue. Nancy, hi! Miss you, little lady. Hope you are enjoying your summer. Okay, so then hopefully that is dry. So I'm just going to make sure that it's not wet anymore. Now we're going to go tap, tap, tap. And we're going to line that up as much as we can in the bleached out area. And sometimes it sticks to your... Now, I don't like the look of that. Huh. Let's try that again. Nope. That looks kind of better. Okay, so 2 of them, I find it's okay. And you know what? We're going to stamp off. And then make it look like it has a shadow. And then we're going to stamp off on this one. And then we're going to just move move the stamp over a little bit so it does take up a little bit of that white out area. Okay. And that one, at least one I like that one the least. Okay, so we're done with that. And then we're going to stamp our greeting. And I'm going to actually clean this off for just a second. Certain inks actually discolor your photopolymer. So, and I think we need that particular stamp again, but we'll see. And then we'll take the, now these are circles that have had a little snippet slipped off of it, and this is going to say on it, have a lovely day. And are we going to do anything? Nope, we're not going to do anything with the greeting except for put that in here. Oh, that looks good. Sometimes they, want to, put like a butterfly on there. Or so I wanted to know if I needed to save space. Oops. I got a little bit in the corner there, so I'm just going to rub that off. That happens when you have like a bigger block than your stamp. And if you push down too hard. Okay, all of them look good, so I'm going to have a hard time picking which one I like the best. All right. So I'm going to give you guys a poll. So it says, I'm going to close this up for just a second. I'm going to give you guys a poll, and it tells us that Basic Black, Crushed Curry, Lost Lagoon, Old Olive, and Pecan Pie, and Silver. Now, we don't have an ink pad that is silver, but we do have, say, a Smoky Slate or a gray, Basic Gray. So what card or what color do you think we should do the bike? For the inside of the card, I think that maybe Smoky Slate would very nice because it's a gray. And then we can stamp some butterflies around it. So let me show you what that would look like. And you could say yay or nay. Let me get a piece of... I think that'll work just lovely. Okay, so this is basic white. And we'll ink up the bike. I didn't clean it off. But there's the bike. And we could stamp some butterflies around the bike. Or put some flowers kind of, you know, maybe around the bike as well. And that could go on the inside of the card. So we could use basic black. We could, you know, put this over here. Or we could open this up. Okay. And then so the back side, so this side's not going to show. And then we could just do like the front part of the bike. And then, you know, have some fun things. So you guys, let me know what you think we should do for the inside of the card. All right. And then let's get going as to what we should do with the rest of our card. Ooh, they want a lot of dimensionals on everything. Holy buckets, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. They want you to use 16. Ha! That's a lot. Okay. And then just a little bit of glue or a little bit of adhesive on this and this. And so the greenery gets dimensionals. And so does the bike and this piece. So I'm getting my dimensionals ready. And actually, let me take this out. And anything that I use for my adhesive, I like to have the silicone craft sheet with me because the adhesive doesn't stick. If I make a boo-boo, then, you know, it doesn't stick. To my glass mat, it stays right here. All right. So let's get our... Take your pick tool. Now, I call this part here my people poker. And that is where I put, and I'm just going to put 1, 2. I'm going to use 3 because I'm actually using the regular size dimensionals rather than the little ones. And I'm going to pick one winner for each card. And you're like, winner? How do I become a winner? So if you do a thumbs up or a heart, that gets your name in the entry. If you leave a comment, it doesn't matter what comment you leave. I'm just going to do 2 of these dimensionals because, again, they're bigger. You get an entry. And then if you share this on your timeline, you're going to be entered 2 times to win this card or one of the cards. So there's going to be 3 winners. So if your name is picked for the first card, I do not put it back in. I take it out. Okay. And then, so that one's ready. Now we have to put all the dimensionals. Uh-oh. Okay, am I still working? Am I still here? My screen is dark on my... There we go. It was just like black. Okay, now it's going black again. I'm wondering, do you guys see me fine? Maybe I need to plug me in. Let's see if that works. Okay, I plugged my phone in, but I don't think it was past. It's going dark and light. Okay. I don't know why, guys. There's my hands. It works. And then Okay. Maybe it's just a weird thing. It's never done that before. I do have a slow connection at this apartment, and I can't do anything about that because it's their system. But I have Xfinity, so hopefully it somehow works. Okay, I'm just going to take a drink here. Okay, so then now we need to put dimensionals on our bike pieces. Okay. So I am going to use larger dimensionals just because I feel more comfortable with that. Okay, so we're just going to put one here and one here. Because otherwise you guys are going to have to wait a long time for me to take all the dimensional backings off. And that's going to kind of suck. Alright, so then we're going to put one more down here. Who would you send this cute card to if you won? Alright. Looks like we're going to put one right there. Okay, one more. Right there. Okay, so then I'm going to grab my adhesive scissors and I'm going to do some snipping. Do you guys hear the robin in the background? I have my window open and he or she is just singing up a storm. The apartment building ours is done being painted, so I moved everything from the inside of the apartment to my deck. Again, actually, it's a balcony, really. And so what really sucked was, like, for over a week, I've had my planters sitting in my living room, not getting water, because if you water them, they leak through, and then they were also not getting that much sun. So I put them on the deck, and they are all happy plants. All right, and the hummingbirds and the grackles, sorry, red-winged blackbirds, those guys are happy too. I was putting out the hummingbird food, and she was just zipping around. We only we have 3 hummingbird feeders, but we only had 1 up because that's all that could be allowed, just because of how they were painting. And so I am warm. So I put everything back on the deck. Now I might have to relocate several things just because I want to see them better. One of the hummingbird feeders that they use a lot, I can't see anymore from sitting in the living room. And so, okay, that's enough, I think, right? They did have one at the end there, so let's put something there. All right, let's do... Oh, that'll work perfectly. Okay. And then that one. So I'm going to actually take the backings off and do one at a time. Just because, as you could tell, I don't have a lot of space here. And if I were take all the backings off, things would be having a place and having a tragedy happen. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to take the back. Oh, this one needs to be further smushed down. Probably because, all right, I'm having my fan on high now. I don't know why I'm sweating. All right. Okay, so there we go. I'm just pulling that off, and it looks like it goes right to the top there. And then we're going to take adhesive and we're going to put that. Now I'm going to use my Stamp and Seal, and we're just going to put down a line in the center so that it hits this and it lines up, and it lines up like that, and it has more space down at the bottom. Okay, now because this is my first one, I think what I'm going to do on the next one is I'm actually going to take the backing off the silicone, or sorry, off that piece right there. Now it's not going to stick to the silicone craft sheet. And so then this piece right here, we're going to put a double stripe, and then now we're going to line that up. There we go. Like that. And then now we can line it up better so it's more center. You know what I'm saying, right? See, this is the reason why you have me do things first. And so then, see how this is more centered? This is a little bit more off that way. You probably wouldn't notice that. I do, so therefore I am doing it. Yes, the hummingbirds are going nuts. Now, do you have multiple hummingbirds? I have a bully. She is very territorial, and when she is in the tree and another hummingbird, it doesn't matter if it's female or male, she will chase it out of the way. And I have 3 feeders, and I'm like, you don't have to be a biatch. You can, allow other ones to have food too, Yeah. And what happens when they have babies? Then their family is no longer going to like them. You get your own feeder. But I have so much fun just watching them. All right, so then that goes there. Okay, so then now we are going to put the bike. Okay, so we're going to do one bike at a time because that's a lot of dimensionals. Okay, so we're going to do this one right here. So we're just going to stab and grab the backings. And so the reason why I like the Take Your Pick tool is number 1. Okay, that's good. See, I read that you're supposed to have your feeder 15 feet away from each other. Well, when you have a balcony and you're on the 3rd floor, there's not a place you can hide it. So, I have one on the patio door. It's Velcroed, suction cupped. And then, oh, that is just so flipping cute. Now, because I have my dimensional here, it's pushing down on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the dimensional right here so that it would catch, obviously, so it would hold it down right there. And then I'm just going to put a little adhesive right there. So it holds the seat in place and it doesn't push it down. All right, so let's get a little bit of that glue off. Okay, now this is where the feet, this thing goes, the basket. So 1, a 2, and a 3. Stab and grab those backings. See, in doing that, the backings do not end up all over your desk. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, that is just so cute. I love it. Oh my goodness. So what color do you think we should put the bike on the inside of the card? Just a question. Okay, maybe this one. Nope. I'm going to take that one out and I'm going to stab it until it is gone. Come hither. There we go. Because I don't want it to push down the coral. That's what it was doing. And I would see that. So there we go. And then where do we put the flutterbys? Okay. One on. Okay, so it gets 3 of them. So then we'll take this off and we'll grab a flutterby. One's supposed to go right there, and then one is going this way and one is going that way. So we created a triangle with those little flutterbys. Oh, so cute. Okay, maybe I think we should go with the smoky slate on the inside, I think. Okay, let's go with the next one. And we're going to take see, we don't end up with these all over the table, so it helps with, keeping your table space clean. And then we're just going to take that one off, roll it up, and put that in the trash. Grab another card. And so we're just going to line that up. Make sure it's on the card first, not going off the card. Okay, that would help, right? Okay, then stab and grab those backings. Another thing you could do with Paper Pumpkin is take it with you so that when you are, say, like at the doctor's office and you're waiting, or you're in the hospital waiting, on somebody who you drove to the hospital, or if one of your kids or grandkids is at a, practice or a game, you could take this with you and complete it. It's about a half an hour. It will probably take you less time because, you're not explaining things to other people on a Facebook Live. Okay, so oops, that one did not want to come with me. Okay, that one's almost wanted to stay. When I heard this one was calling Bikes and Blooms, I'm like, bikes. How could that be cute for a card? Oh, Stampin' Up! Just did a wonderful job with these guys. I love it. And we're only on the first one. All right. And, you know, we also have to go rogue a little bit. And we're going to add the Wink of Stella. You know that if you've been a follower of mine. I do not let a card out of my sight without the Wink of Stella. Okay, let's go with the little flirty by there. And there we go. Okay, so then we'll kind of regroup the putty at the end. No, you have to subscribe to be a pumpkin. You have to be a subscription follower to get the refills. And those refills, they sell out fast. And also the product that coordinates. So each quarter they come out with like stamps and dies that coordinate with, sometimes it's dies, sometimes it's stamps, sometimes it could be a mixture, and you purchase that and it coordinates with 3 months for that quarter. All right, I'm just going to take a drink here. All right, so I think what do you think we should do with the bike? Should we do the full bike or should we do the partial bike? I think, let's see, let's do a full bike and we'll see what we like. That will be, we'll put that down in the corner here. And just allow that ink to transfer. Oh, that looks just adorable. Okay, I think we'll do that on all of them. And then once we're done with the let's see, once we're done with the bikes, then we'll go and see what the butterflies. Okay, so we're going to keep that. We're going to close this up. And like I said, the colors would be, so let's do Lost Lagoon. We'll do Calypso Coral, and how about Crushed Curry. Let's do Crushed Curry. And so we will stamp the butterflies. Okay, so let's do Crushed Curry. I'm going to reposition that on here. So the Crushed Curry, we're going to do the bigger butterfly, and then we're going to go in with the Lost Lagoon for the little guy. Luckily there's enough space in between so that you can, you know, stamp 2 of them in different colors. We'll put 2 like that, and then we'll do Calypso Coral and the standalone butterfly. Isn't that cute? I think we should do that to all the cards on the inside. And then we'll put Wink of Stella on them. What do you think about that? Okay. So then, tap, tap, tap. And put the butterfly butterfly there, and there, and then we'll do crushed curry and Lost Lagoon. Okay. Lost Lagoon, crushed curry, and we'll put that right there. Okay, so that's the inside of our card, because I think that everything that we stampers do, you know, the front is the pretty part. I don't have the best handwriting, so you got to make something pretty, because my handwriting ain't it. Okay, so let's go and use the, we're going to use the Wink of Stella. And so we're going to just hit, we're going to do all the butterflies at the same time. And then that way I don't have to clean off all the ink. Okay, so then to clean that ink off, because it'll have some residue, we'll just wipe it down, and then we'll do the crushed curry. And then we'll just swipe that clean, and we'll do the Lost Lagoon. Okay. Now, to do the front of the card, we're going to do the flowers in the basket. Okay, so we'll just clean that off, and then we'll do our flowers. This is about as going rogue as I get. Okay, that is card number 1, and we will put that over here. And now we'll get, we're going to clean off our stuff just in case we need it again in a different color. This one we're going to keep silver, so we'll just leave that one. All right, we'll do the butterflies. Oh, we got to clean the butterflies because we're going to use that on card number 3. All right, so let's see what card number 2 is. And that is this one. Okay, so get rid of the mats for a second here. And here's our stamps. And then again, we'll take these and we'll move them over to the side. I'll put my Wink of Stella over there. I'm assuming we're going to stamp on these. And we'll probably stamp on these. And then, so what we'll do is we will fold and burnish with the bone folder. Now I have this corral on my desk. It is something that I got at Walmart, and I've seen them at Office Max or Office Depot, and they're black and they are see-through. So I could show you. This is like a letter holder. I use this to hold my dimensionals, my mini, or my regular dimensionals, my mini dimensionals, and then I have the adhesive. Let's see, what is it? Oh, I just took it out of its container. It's called the foam adhesive sheets, and apparently it was not inside this. It was just sitting next to it. And I have those sitting in here, and like that. And then also I have the, what's it called? Tear and tape. And so this sits on my desk, just another one, and I have a tool or a turn thing. So that's where I keep my scissors, my brayer, my glue, my white out, my bone folder. And so that helps me keep my stuff organized, so when I can't find it, it's usually sitting there. I like to put stuff back when I get done with it. So sometimes, even when I'm using it, I put it back. Oh, gosh darn it. There we go. Nice burnish. Okay, so we have all three of these ready to go. And it looks like they are going to go landscape. Okay, so our instructions say we're supposed to stamp best wishes on these things with the little dots at the top. Okay, so we're going to grab the Stampin' Pearson mat. We're going to put those to the side. We're going to put these all in a row so that we can stamp these and then decide which one we like the best, or the least, I should say, and then throw that one in the recycling bin. Okay, so best wishes. And that is going to go right here. Okay. I'm trying to do this with the camera in my face, so hopefully it is straight. At least 3 of them will be straight compared to 1 of them. That's all I can hope for, right? Okay. Okay. So, which one looks... This one looks a little off kilter, so that one's going away. We'll clean that in just a moment. Alright, we're done stamping that. And then now we need to stamp the flowers in here. Oh, we tried that before. Okay. So it looks like that little guy is going to line up with that little guy. So we're going to try to ink that up and just move that around. Oh, that looks good. Okay. When you do things like this, this is assembly style, it makes it go faster. When you do assembly style, you want to, if you don't want to, you can. So what I like to do is, if I'm not creating for an event or Facebook Lives, I will make 2 or 3 cards, maybe even 4. Depends on the card and if it's something that's going to take a while. Okay, so it looks like we need to put dimensionals on the back of these and on the back of the bikes. Okay, so, but anyways, I like to, make the card design and then maybe add for what I need that day, add my greetings to the one I need, and then add greetings later. So then that way if I need you know, a get well soon, I can always, you know, stamp a get well soon. Okay, so this one we're going to put right there. And right there. And I'm just going to put one in the center there. Oops. We're just using the end pieces, the outside edges. I always use my outside edges. I will not open up another pack until I get them all used up. That way, I will not have a bunch of edges stuck around, because that would, you know, that would be messy. Okay, we got that. And again, it looks like they want us to use everything. Okay, so here we go. Just and so Tina, you can, as a demonstrator, order a paper pumpkin kit and get your discount on it, and that's what I do. Okay, new pack of dimensionals. Woohoo! I always love me a pack of new dimensionals. And that's one of the benefits about being a demonstrator, is that you get discounts on everything that you purchase. Okay, so I might as well just stick that in my bin, put that in the recycling bin. Okie dokie. No, yep. So because I am using the large ones, I am just going to put them not in every single spot, and I will put one in the center there. Oh, and it looks like we need to put some ribbon around. Okay, we'll have to work with that. We'll do the ribbon next. Or the, what do we call it? The linen thread. Okay. One in the center, one up there. Up there. I have fun doing these pumpkins, just because, like I said, I don't have to design anything. The last one I had a little issue with, just because I thought it was kind of stupidly designed, but I made it turn out okay. So I very rarely have that happen, but you know, everybody can have their opinions. It doesn't have to be right. Okay, so they want you to cut 14 inches of ribbon. Okay, so none of these, except for one, happen to have, ooh, okay, they did 1 to 8, and then they added centimeters, because obviously it's in different markets. Okay, so we need 14 inches. So we got 8 plus 6 is 14. So we're going to snip it right there. Okay, so then I'm just going to take my finger and just kind of run it through it so that it straightens out. And then we're just going to align 1, a 2, and a 3. And then that is an easy way to do 3 of them at the same time. Now, what I do is I roll that back up, and every one of these cardboard thingies I put a notch in, and I will always put a notch in north, east, south, and west, and then that way I can always find my end and it doesn't come undone on me. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, so then now let's get to, and there's the one that came undone, dimensional, the backing. Okay, so then we're going to put the ribbon. Okay, so we're again, because we don't have that much space, we're going to do one bike at a time and one basket at a time. So make sure it's facing the right way. And I'm going to start with the left and work over to the right so that I am not putting my hands, just like I did there, in the done one. Okay. And that one didn't come off. So we're going to line this bike up in the corner here. And all the way down. Okay, like that. And then we forgot to put the string on it. Duh. Okay, so how do we do the string? All right, what do I have? I know. This is a pipe cleaner. This is one of my favorite, my cat's favorite toy. So we're gonna take it, and we're gonna wrap it around there. And we're just going to poke that through. Yay! Unwrap it. Come on. Come on. There we go. Ah, that didn't work. It kind of worked, and I pulled it all the way through. That was very stupid of me. It worked. Oh, joy, joy, joy. Okay, we'll just do it loosely this time. Okay, now we'll just pull that through. There we go. That worked. Okay, so then now we're just going to leave that sit there for a second. We're going to take off the... Now, if you don't have a pipe cleaner, you can find something. I mean, you can even take a piece of scrap, put a little notch in it, and put it underneath, you know. That goes on top of there. I just show you how to fix things. And then we will make a bow. Now it said 14 inches. And I am going to put my greeting. Where did we put our greetings? our greetings get dimensionals on them as well. So 1, 2, and 3, I forgot to put them on there. Darn it. All right. Back to the dimensionals. I think it'll be easier to tie the bow once we have that in place, because what's going to happen is that linen thread will be tied down by the dimensionals, and it'll be a lot easier to tie a bow when it's stuck down. Or you could be like me and grab a mini glue dot, smush that together, put that down, and then tie your knot just like that, and then put your greeting on here, and then tie your bow. Okay. That needs to be a little bit better. There we go. And then now we will snip that. Okay. And then we'll add our little flutterbys a little bit later. Okay. Okay. Now the next one. So again, we're going to take all the dimensionals off the back, off the bike. Once it starts coming off, then I will pull them off and start a new batch of backings. Okay. Yep, that's sticky. Okay, so that'll go in the corner. Oh, no, no, no. Super cute. Okay, so then we'll put that right there. Gosh darn it! Do you think I will learn? Here, let's put the... Luckily, I did not move the chenille stem away. I didn't learn from my first one. And just stick that under, slide it through. Yeah, I did. The last one I won't, because I stuck the thread on top of it. And as soon as I laid it down and I saw the chenille stem, it's like, gosh darn it. All right. Then we'll kind of pull that over, grab a mini glue dot. I like it this way. I mean, this for me is a lot easier to manipulate my bow. And then once we do that, oops, my nose tickle. My nose, my allergies have been just driving me crazy lately. Not with sneezing, and this year, itchy eyes is not as bad as my nose just tickling, like the ends. So I have to constantly, I feel like I need to take the green scrubby and just go up inside and just scrub. That's how I usually feel about my eyeballs, because this year they haven't really been itchy as bad. Okay, and best wishes right there. Okay, we'll come back for the Flutterby once we're done. And look at that! Okay, so this is going to be in my hand. I'm going to take off all the backings, and then I'm going to stick. Oh man, 3 times the charm, right? But at least you now know how to figure out a way to get your... I'm a fixer. At work, I have a person, she's the lead in our area, and I do whatever I can to fix things to make her day go better. So, okay. So we're not going to tie the knot yet, okay? We're just getting that in place, so then that way yeah, I'm a problem solver. Find a way to fix things and make things work. All right, make that a booger. That goes right there. Okay, all right. We'll move that because apparently I put it in the wrong spot. There we go, smush down. You can tie your bow now, so much easier. And you don't need 3 fingers. That mini glue dot, that little thing that always saves the day. That one we're gonna snip a little bit. And then we're gonna stab and grab our backings off of the best wishes. Now the best wishes could be for anything, because whoever wins this card, all I'm doing is putting a bike on the inside. I am not... Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Why? Oh, okay. Well, I think they all turned out. You know, we could put... Well, nah. I was going to say we could put that on the inside of the card, but I don't want it to be doubled up with the... Okay. Right, so now where are we supposed to put the Flutterbys? 3 of them. I see 1. Oh, and then 2 in with the flowers. Okay. So let's... 1 is off and running away, and 1 is right there, and the other one I'm going to put right there. So then we create that little triangle. So run, Flutterby, run, fly, fly away. Whee! I'm having too much fun. Okay. And then we'll do the bicycle, or sorry, the bicycle on the inside. Oh. Does the last one not get butterflies? Oh, it gets stamped butterflies. Okay, because we have 2 left. All right. So... we're gonna do something. Okay, so now we're gonna do the inside of the card. So we're gonna take this and put that off to the side and grab this, and then we'll stamp our bicycle and our butterflies. In smoky slate. Okay. All right, let's put the bike down on that side. Okay, there we go. And then, have a lovely day. It was stamped on the first card, so we're just going to clean that off and put that there. So then that way I know I did clean it off and I don't try to sit there and clean things off several times, because I have been known to do that. So we'll clean off the flowers and the butterflies. Oop. Is that flowers? Yeah. Okay, then we're going to open up our crushed curry and our Lost Lagoon, and then, oh yeah, we'll need the Calypso. Okay, so the Calypso, let's do right there. Okay, and then we'll clean that off, because I know we need to use that on the next one, but I just want to make sure I didn't have any residue on it. Okay, so then we're going to close that up for now, because we just got done with the Calypso. And then the other butterfly, we need to do 2 of them. So we'll do the crushed curry in the little and the Lost Lagoon in the big. So we'll mix it up a little bit. And so that is going to go like that. Okay. And then, so Lost Lagoon, crushed curry. Okay. That's just so cute. All right. So we'll clean that off and we'll put the Wink of Stella on. We'll close up those ink pads. And then we'll go on to our third card. Squeak, squeak. That means it's clean. Okay. So our third card, we need to stamp the butterflies. Oh yeah, we need to do the Wink of Stella. Yeah, let's do the Wink of Stella just because it's right here. Okay, so we'll do the crushed curry first. And then go into the Lost Lagoon. And clear that off and go and do the Calypso Coral Butterfly. Okay, so we're going to close this up, and then we'll do the flowers. We didn't have to clear off because the butterflies were the same color. Now we're not doing everything, we're just kind of getting the gist of it. And I really love the Wink of Stella because it just adds a little shimmer. And we have these new glitter pens, shimmer pens I think they're called, in the new in colors that just came out this year. I don't have any yet. I've been just focusing on the event that's coming up and purchasing for stuff for that. So, been trying not to overdo it. Okay, and then clean that off so that the next time it's all clear, ready to go. And that is card number 2, so that will go right there. All right, so card number 3. Okay. Okay, so looks like we're going to need to stamp inside the flowers there, and we're going to stamp the butterflies around here. Okay. Okay, so it looks, again, this is going to be landscape, so we're going to grab. Oh, and then the yellow has, the front of the yellow card has a line on it compared to the back. So you can see it's a darker shade, like that's where the bike is riding. Okay. And just give that a nice burnish, just making sure my corners are lined up together. Okay. Oops. Put that in the right spot. Okay, so we're going to ink up the butterflies. Now, it says to put it on a big stamp like this so that you can ink them up, but I would prefer to do it separately, so that's the reason why I did it that way. But if you wanted to, you can. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. All right. So I might like a different position. You know what I mean? Okay, so the single butterfly is supposed to go that way. I guess it's okay. And whoa! I got a little spot right there, but nobody will notice. Okay, and go that way. And then we'll clean that off because I got some on the edge. And we're going to, you know, put the bike on the inside. So, but we're going to do something different with that. Okay, that one's all cleaned up. Then we need to do the 2 little guys. And that is going to be right there. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and again, we'll clean that off. This is one of the colors that does like to, if you leave them on, it could stain your dies, or stain your images. But okay, and then we're going to do the flowers. Oh, this is going to be a hard part. I'm going to take my my scrap sheet, and I'm going to have to sit down for this because I need to be able to line up my flowers. That is this one. Yep. Okay. I'm going to sit down for a second. I'm going to use my silicone craft sheet as a base for my flowers so I could see it lined up better. So hopefully my head is not in the way. I don't think that works. Maybe it's upside down. That's what it was. It was upside down. And just make sure that it lines up. Push down. Okay, it looked good. All right, I didn't ruin that one. Hopefully my head is not in the way. That one's a little out of whack. Wait, this is like this. And if you have too much white around one side of the flowers, you can always go in and cut it. Like I got a little close to the edge, that one, so hopefully this one turns out, and then it's good. And then I can just throw that one away, and then we'll call it good. Just let that sit for a second, allow that to soak in. Oh, come on. Oh, yay, it turned out. So, woohoo, that one's getting thrown away. All right, so we'll clean the flowers off on that. Okay. Squeak, 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 squeak. Okay, and so the next thing is thank you. Okay, when it's white on white, you know, I find it's easier to stamp on a darker, like this. So I'm just going to leave this here so I could see better, so I can line it up. So it's more, this one's going to be thinking of you. Oh, no, sorry, thank you. And do I need to put this? Okay, so it looks like it's in the center. Kind of in the center. That one's better. Okay. Alright, so that one, that one, that one. That one's a little too up, so we'll get rid of that one. Okay. We are done stamping with our Calypso Coral. So now we're going to adhere things. So it looks like we're going to take the flowers and we're going to put adhesive or dimensionals on here. Okay. So we're just going to use one dimensional because we're using bigger ones. Okay. Okay, so stab and grab those backings and then put them like this. Okay. And so this goes like that. And like that. Okay, then we're going to take these and I'm actually just going to use one-dimensional on these as well. Okay, and then we're going to put, oop, that one didn't come off. There we go. Now it came off. And so we're going to put that right there. Okay, and then the planter gets dimensionals because, you know, we carry books and a pot on the back of our bikes. Okay. Because we in Minnesota like to take our books somewhere, like underneath a tree by a lake, and then we'll take our pot and set it right next to us. Right? Okay, just wondering. Or somebody is moving out of their college dorm and they're only using their bike to move stuff because they don't live far away. I don't know about that, right? Okay, you know how we had 2 extra butterflies and I have a little spot right there? We're going to stick a butterfly right there. And nobody's going to know. And then we're going to stick the other one right down here. Because, you know, then it's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can throw this little plastic thingy away. Because it's irritating. Alright. Then we're supposed to take all of this and put dimensionals on the backing. Boy, these are going to be fun cards to put in the mail. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Okay, there we go. And then one, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Stab. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're just lightly setting that on so that it can have a nice border all the way around. Okay, one last one to flip upside down, and then we have to do the greeting. Come on. Go where I tell you. Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Yay! Alright, so the next one, we are supposed to put dimensionals on the back side of these. 1 and 2. Okay. And then so I'm just gonna stab those right now. Okay. I'm gonna lay those off. These green things are gonna go like that. Like that, and we're supposed to do some loopy loops. So 12 inches. That is a big loopy loop. I'm not going 12 inches. I'm going to go 9. 1, 2. On my glass mat, I have inches, and it goes to 13. So once I'm done, I could take that and wrap that around, and I do this for all my linen threads and for the what is it called? Baker's Twine Essential Packs. Okay, so I am going to put a little bit of adhesive like this, and you're supposed to take it, and I'm going to actually put these up at the top. So you go like that. It's funny. You're supposed to do your, the loopy loop, not your finger. So down like that and around. So not a bow, but loops. And that looks really stupid. So let's go halfway in. Maybe 12 would have been better. All right. And that's okay. Loop. And a loop. Much better. There, I like that. Okay, and then stab these and put that up above. And so you're going to line this up at the edge like that. And then you're going to put this on your bike. That's adorable. Okay, so now that we know how to do that, let's make our loops. And by doing it this way, you don't have to make a bow. Oops, too much. There we go. My fingers are getting stuck in the adhesive. Go like that. It turns on me automatically. It's like, no, don't do that. Okay. There we go. Then this one's going to go just like that. Oh, it moved over, so that's okay. And we'll attach that to the card. Lovely. And then this one last loopy loop. Okay. Oops, not too much of a loop. Okay, fine. We'll go this way. And then we'll go this way. Nah, that's not going to work. That doesn't do it for me. There we go. Too much of a tail. Okay, and we'll grab that, put that right there, put some adhesive on it, so cute. Actually, a little crooked, a little bit more straight. Woohoo! All right. And then let's add some Wink of Stella, because we did that to every card. And we need to stamp, let's see, we'll get rid of our craft sheet because we don't need that anymore. And we're going to open up the inside. And we're going to do our bicycle. And just the front of the bike is coming in. Let's put a little bit more of the bike in there. And just like that. Okay, we'll clean that in just a moment. And then we'll get the, take your pick tool, and put that away because that's, you don't need it anymore. Wait, we're going to need that. And our flutterbys, we're done. Well, no, we got to stamp our butterflies. And open up our crushed curry and our Lost Lagoon and our Calypso coral. Okay. I think how shall we do this? Okay, we're going to put the big one down at the bottom. And then we'll close that ink pad up. We are done. And then we'll do crushed curry in the big one and Lost Lagoon in the little one. And that's just going to kind of hang around like that. Okay. Then we'll close up the ink pads. Get rid of our Stampin' Piercing mat. Grab the Wink of Stella. Oh, yeah, we gotta clear that off, so we'll do the light. Clear that off between each color. Okay, go into the Calypso Coral. And last but not, oh, we got the yellow. Okay, so we got everybody inside. Woohoo! All right. So then now we will do the flowers and the butterflies on the front, because those have to sparkle. Okay. All right, that is done. So the sparkle is over. Woohoo! Okay, so this is card number 3. And let's put the coordinating envelope with it, which happens to be the yellow one. Okay, and then card number 2 is that one, and card number 1 is this one. So which one's your favorite? 1, 2, or 3? And so what I am going to do is just let that sit for a second. So what's going to happen is I am going to pick 3 winners, 1 of each kind, and how you get a chance to win is if you do a thumbs up or a heart, that gets your name entered into the drawing while this is a live video. Now if you're watching replay, you can still do that as long as it's within the 30 days of me recording this. And then you can leave a comment on the live video or on the replay, and I do come back and read all of them, and that will get you entered in. You like them all. I do too. And so leaving a comment gets you entered as well. And then if you share this on your timeline, now if you share this, you get 2 entries. So you really have 4 different ways to win one of these cards. And so getting my name out there helps me. So that's, by sharing, that helps a lot. And that tells, Facebook that you found what I bring is interesting. And so they will continue to, show people my videos. And if you, place an order with me, I appreciate that. I appreciate you hanging out with me on Sundays after 5 o'clock when I have my Facebook Live, and on Thursdays when I can make it. So obviously tonight is Thursday and I made it. And we've been super busy at work, so sometimes it's been hard for me to get to a Thursday because I've been staying late, and I didn't stay late today, so that was nice. I got out on time. So hopefully you guys will be back with me on Sunday after 5 o'clock. And take care, guys. Have a great weekend, and happy stamping.